went to work on you and abused you and made you afraid and dumbed you down and distorted your values and so forth and so on. Yeah. Yeah, see, I think what's happened is at the top of the culture, it's profoundly intellectually bankrupt. There is no plan except to keep peddling stuff, basically until the forests are gone and the ocean's polluted, and this is not malevolent. It's not malevolent. It's simply they are clueless. They have run out of steam. And so the answer is to try and keep the game going as long as possible with daytime TV, with casino gambling, with lotteries, with endless distractions, with pop culture fads, with cults of celebrity, with spectacular trials and gory mass murders and endless circuses, while the people at the top are saying, you know, sooner or later the shit is going to hit the fan. Sooner or later the dam will burst. And they say, well, let's make sure it's later, not sooner, because I've got 2 kids at the Sorbonne, I'm paying off a Mercedes, and I need to get this taken care of before it all falls apart. So in the absence of any cultural plan imposed from the top, this strange dynamic is happening. This has happened before in cultural history, where some huge enterprise like Christianity or patriarchy or something like that, after running its games for millennia, it just runs out of steam. And often there's nothing to rush in and fill the vacuum, nothing that is consciously engineered to do that. And so then in those situations, an actual creative bifurcation can take place, because what is about to happen is not in the hands of human managers. It lies deeper in the dynamics of the whole system.
Global GDP, naturally, there's growing concerns over the COVID-19's impact on the global economy. To find out the extent and duration of the damage, our Kim Da-mi talked to some experts. Here's the first installment of our special 3-part series.
China has set an ambitious 6% GDP growth target for 2020, but the coronavirus will make it hard to reach that goal. The virus is expected to have a bigger impact than the SARS outbreak in 2003, which killed 800 people worldwide and shaved almost 1% off China's growth.
When compared with the SARS crisis, the economic impact from the coronavirus outbreak will be sharper and deeper. China's economy has grown 4 times bigger since then, making up almost 18% of the global economy.
And it's not just China's problem. China has grown faster than any major economy to become the world's 2nd biggest by GDP. And as China is a key part of a range of global supply chains, the outbreak will have a knock-on effect worldwide, with those countries more reliant on China feeling even more of an impact. The world's biggest smartphone chipmaker Qualcomm cautioned that the outbreak was causing significant uncertainty over demand for smartphones, as well as the supplies needed to produce them. The travel and tourism industry is also among the most vulnerable. Nearly 6 million people from China visited South Korea last year, but data shows that the country could lose a large number of those tourists. Moody's has lowered SARS GDP growth forecast once again from 2.1 to 1.9%. Singapore's Trade Ministry on Monday also cut its GDP forecast for this year due to the outbreak. But with major businesses across China gradually resuming operation, some believe in a V-shaped impact like the SARS crisis.
In other words, sharp decline in economic activities in China, followed by rapid recovery, and a total impact on China relatively contained, therefore impact on the world economy also contained.
A rebound after a short, sharp economic shock is possible under certain circumstances.
Major businesses and factories across China need to resume operation under the Chinese government's systematic economic policies and containment measures. Most importantly, the spread of the virus needs to stop.
The IMF chief has also warned that the coronavirus outbreak could drag down the global economy. And with uncertainties over the situation in China, G20 finance ministers and central bankers will gather in Saudi Arabia this week to discuss the possible cost of the outbreak. Kim Da-mi, Arirang News.